So welcome to the demo of Informatica Power Center. So Informatica Power Center is the ETL tool that we have. Is the ETL tool that we have in the data warehousing environment. Okay. So since it is the ETL tool that belongs to the data warehousing environment, is that for the first three classes, we are going to understand what is the data warehouse, what are the different technologies that we have here, so how the architecture is there, what is the process of ETL here, so what is the role of Informatica in the data warehousing, so what are the advantages of the Informatica here, so why Informatica has become a leading ETL tool that we have it in the current market. So what are the different systems that we have here, like what is the OLTP system, what kind of modeling we are going to follow here, what are the different BA tools here, right? So all these fundamental topics, fundamental data warehousing topics, we are going to understand for the first 3 to 4 classes in this training session. So once we are done with all these concepts, all these fundas, into Informatica Power Center, right? Right. So this is about the primary things that we are going to cover for the Power Center. Okay. So when we talk about the data warehouse, how do we? So we'll try to understand how do we understand a data warehouse. So what led to the invention of the data warehouse? Understand in the current session. So for every organization or every company, okay, basically data plays a major role. So what exactly is the purpose of storing the data? So why we need to store the data? So every company it basically stores the data in order to have the business analysis. So the main purpose of storing the data is for business analysis. So when I say business analysis, so how do we do the business analysis and where do we store the data, right? So these things we'll try to understand now. Okay, so let us say we have a food store, like we have a McDonald's company, right? So this McDonald's company is nothing but it's a fast food restaurant. It's a fast food restaurant that basically serves the food items to the customers. So whenever any customer walks into the McDonald's outlet, when he asks for any food item, the person over there is going to enter the customer order details through the front-end application that they have it. Front-end application or the front-end interface. Or else, even when you do any kind of online transaction or any kind of online order, so what you do is just log in into the McDonald's site, you order all the food items which you need. At last, you pay the bill for you need. So there also you are going to enter your order details like your name, yes, what are the food you need, your address, your phone number, all these things to the front-end interface that you have it. So the front-end interface or the front-end application is something that is designed by using the front-end technologies. Front-end technologies. So what are the front-end technologies? So it is nothing but some of the programming languages where it is designed. So like Java, we have .NET, right? So we have C#, right? So D2K forms. So these are all the front-end applications that we have where it is used to design the front-end applications, right? So since the front-end applications have some advantage, like they cannot able to store the data, right? So since the front-end application is not capable of storing the data, we need some place in order to store the data to have the business analysis or the future reference. So where we are going to store the data? So for this, what we have is that they led to the invention of back-end technologies, or the which is called as a server. Back-end technologies, which is called as a server or a database. Server or a database. So the data from the front-end application through the communication box, it enters into the database table. So what exactly is a database now? So a database is nothing but it's a software package that we have. It's a software package that contains the data in the form of tables. That contains data in the form of tables. Okay, so before understanding what exactly is a data warehouse, we'll try to understand so what is a database now. Okay, so database is nothing but it's a software package that we have that contains the data in the form of tables. So there are multiple databases that we have in the current market. Like we have Oracle is the popular database, Teradata is a popular database, SQL Server, yes, DB2 and Sybase. Okay, so Oracle is from Oracle Corporation, as we know that. So Teradata is from Teradata Corporation. So SQL Server is from Microsoft. So DB2 is from IBM. And Sybase is something that is acquired by SAP. So these are all the different databases that we have in the current market. So in order to interact with these databases, we need a SQL language, structured query language that we have, so which is used to communicate with the database. Yes, so in order to read the data from this databases, or in order to load the data into this databases, yes, we need this SQL language in order to do that. Okay, so even in terms of Informatica Power Center or any other ETL tool that we have, at the background, they are going to read the data from the database by using the same SQL, and they are going to load the data into the database using the same SQL language that we have it. Okay, so structured query language in the sense, so we have different languages here. I mean, when I say structured query language, so it contains data retrieval. Yes, so we can see there are multiple sub-languages here, like a data retrieval language, data manipulation language, data definition language, transaction control language. Likewise, we have different sub-languages here. So data retrieval in the sense, we can select the data. So let us say if we have a table called as countries, so what we can do is that in order to select the data, in order to read the data from this countries table in the database, what we do is that we select the data like this. Okay, right? So like this. So in order to do any modification, we do the DML operation. In order to create any object or like the tables or the views or the stored procedures, so we create it here, right? So likewise, we do all those things in the database by using the structured query language. Okay, so before jumping and understanding what exactly is a data warehouse now, okay, I think I hope everyone got an idea like what is a database and all those things. So we'll try to understand now what exactly is a data warehouse. Okay, so before understanding what is a data warehouse, we have to understand the terms like OLTP systems and the OLAP systems. OLTP systems and the OLAP system. So let's try and understand what is the OLTP system. So on the day-to-day basis, we come across many different types of applications which we regularly use in the part of our daily operations. So those applications we call it as OLTP applications. So let us say if you take an example of some e-commerce application. Yes, e-commerce applications like eBay, Amazon, or Flipkart, or Fashion and You. So these are all the different e-commerce applications that we have where you use it in our daily life. Okay. So as a customer, what you do is that whenever you start buying a product, it's nothing but you are performing a transaction. Okay. So similarly, if you talk about the ATM withdrawal center, so when you talk about this ATM withdrawal center, so what you do, you go and put your card in your ATM machine, you draw some amount, or sometimes in some of the ATM machines you even can deposit the amount in your account also. Okay, so these kind of crediting the amount into your account and debiting the amount from your account is something like a transaction that you perform, right? So even when you talk about the railway application or airline application, so these are all the different OLTP systems that we have it in the current daily life. Okay, so what we do is that, so as a customer, yes, what we do, we book a ticket. Yes, it's nothing but a transaction. We cancel the ticket. It's nothing but a transaction that we do it. So the OLTP systems are nothing but these are the online transactional processing systems, right? So we do a lot of transactions in this OLTP system. So the OLTP systems are responsible for storing the transactions that you do in the daily life. Okay, right? So whenever you are doing any operations in the OLTP system, whenever you book a product in this OLTP system, you are nothing but you are adding the data to the OLTP system, which is nothing but a transaction. So in technical terms, this transaction is nothing but it is a set of DML operations. It is a set of DML operations. What we do here, we either insert the data into the OLTP system, we either update the data, or we either delete the data from this OLTP system. Is that? So whenever you book a product, so what is that? You are adding the data, so which is nothing but a insert. So when you cancel the product, it's nothing but you either perform the it either performs the update or the delete operation. Okay, so the OLTP systems are the backbones of any kind of enterprise that we have, because it stores the operational transactions. So the OLTP systems are continuously available in the market, means that the users of the application will have the round the clock access to that. So it will contain the predefined access path, right? It supports day-to-day transaction, and large number of users are there, and large volumes of transactions will be supported here. Okay, so when you talk about this OLTP system, so these are the first parts of the organization that has to be computerized whenever any enterprise is set up. Okay, right. So when you talk about the data warehouse now, so what led to the invention of the data warehouse, we'll try to understand now. So let us say we have a different OLTP system. I'm going back to the same example with respect to the McDonald's system. We have 3 McDonald's systems, 3 McDonald's outlets that we have. Yes, 3 McDonald's outlets that we have in across USA. So one is present in let us say we have it in New York, so which all the transactions are carried out on Oracle. We have it in New Jersey, where all the transactions are carried out in SAP. We have some other let us say Boston, all the transactions are carried out on mainframes. So we have different transactions, yes, across different areas. We have it stored in the different applications here. So these are all the OLTP systems that we have it. These are all the OLTP systems that we have it. So let us say if I am business user of the company McDonald's. I wanted to analyze how the business is running. I wanted to understand the business how it is running. So if you have to do that, so what would I do? So first of all, I'll go to the New York system. I have to analyze how the business is running there. I have to go to the New Jersey, analyze how the business is running. I have to go down to Boston in order to analyze how the business is running. So whenever you talk about the OLTP systems, when you wanted to analyze the business how it is running, when you have the data in the OLTP system, it's quite difficult because it's a time-consuming process. It's a time-consuming process in order to go to each business station and understand how the business is running. So the OLTPs are the systems where basically it contains the current data. So when I say current data, it means that it contains only the at present data. So if you go to the ATM machine, yes, if you take the mini statements of your account, so it hardly gives you the last 5 to 10 transactions of your account. Okay, so which means that it contains only the recent data. Recent data only it contains. Okay, so when you wanted to do the analysis of your business, so what you do, so you basically compare your business with different time ranges. Like you compare your business with this month to the last month, or this quarter to last quarter, or this year to last year. So this kind of analysis you do when you wanted to analyze your business. So where this OLTP system, since it contains the current data, so we cannot analyze the business. So this is one of the disadvantages that we have. So we don't have integrated data here. We don't have integrated data, means that so when you wanted to build a report across the OLTP system, so you basically have the data across multiple OLTP systems, and you have the data in multiple technologies. So you have one is present in Oracle, other is present in SAP, and other is present in the mainframe systems. Okay, you have the data present in multiple technologies, as well as you have multiple standards maintained here. Multiple standards are maintained here. Means that, so for let us say for a column called is a gender, the standard that is done here is male female. So here it is, let us say it could be some 10, and here it could be some male and M, F. So you have different standards that are maintained at each OLTP system. So since we have a different methodologies that are followed in each OLTP systems, so it is difficult for the reporting tool, yes, in order to go and get the data from multiple technologies. So till now there is no reporting tool that we have that can fetch the data from multiple technologies and show the data in the form of report. Okay, so due to all these inconsistencies that we have in the OLTP systems, so there should be some centralized data store where we have to build in order to overcome all these disadvantages. So due to this, what we do is that we'll have a centralized copy of the data. We extract the data from multiple OLTP systems. Yes, we transform the data into a homogeneous format because we have multiple standards here, and we load the data into a very big database which is called as a data warehouse. Okay, so this process of extracting the data from multiple OLTP systems, transforming the data into the homogeneous format, and loading the data into the data warehouse is what you call it as ETL process. ETL, extraction, transformation, and loading. So we have different processes here, like data extraction, data transformation, and data loading. So when I say data extraction, it's nothing but reading the data from multiple OLTPs. So when I say data transformation, it's nothing but transforming the data into a homogeneous format means that you are modifying the data, right? So once you modify the data, we load the data. It means that you are inserting the data into data warehouse. Which means that you are inserting the data into the data warehouse. Okay. So when you have this ETL process, when you load the data into the data warehouse, so a data warehouse is nothing but it's again a database. It's again a RDBMS. So where you can build it on any kind of database that you have. Whether it could be, you can build a data warehouse on Oracle, you can build a data warehouse on Teradata, you can build a data warehouse on DB2 or on Sybase or on MS SQL Server. Right? So who are going to do this process of ETL, so getting the data from multiple OLTPs, transforming the data and loading the data into the data warehouse. So we have certain ETL tools in the market. Okay, so we have many ETL tools in the market, like Informatica Power Center is the ETL tool. Yes, which is from Informatica Corporation. So we have Data Stage, so which is from IBM. We have Ab Initio, which is from Ab Initio Corporation. SSIS, which is from Microsoft. Yes, ODI, which is from Oracle Corporation. Which means that Oracle Data Integrator, and you have SAP Data Services, which is from SAP system. Okay, so out of which Informatica Power Center is a popular ETL tool that we have it in the market. Is that so? Informatica Power Center is the ETL. It is a data integration platform. Means that it is used in two kinds of platforms. One is data warehousing projects, and we have a data integration project. So two kinds of projects it is widely used. Either it is a data warehousing project or a data integration project. So when I say data integration projects, it's a ETL process that you do. Means that so you migrate the data from multiple OLTPs, you transform the data and you load it into the data warehouse. So when it is a data integration project, it means that you're getting the data. I mean, you're migrating the data from one database to another database. So it could be from Oracle to Teradata, it could be from Oracle to SAP, or from SAP to SAP, or from SAP to mainframes. It's nothing but migrating the data. So which is a data migration project. So Informatica Power Center, so that is the reason it is the leading ETL tool that we have in the current market, because of its various plugging options to various systems, right? So where it can plug into any kind of source system and it can load the data to any kind of target system. So it can be used in data warehousing projects, or it can be either used in the data integration project. Okay, so any of this ETL tool we may use, yes, in the project in order to do this ETL process and load the data into the data warehouse. So once we have loaded the data into the data warehouse, so this data will be useful for the analysis purpose. Okay, so why we are creating the data warehouse is for the, so when I say data warehouse, okay, a data warehouse or OLAP system, or when I say decision supporting system, both are the same. Okay, all the three are the same. Okay, so what these ETL tools do is that, so they are going to perform the read operations and the load operations into the databases by using the same SQL language that we use it in order to communicate with the databases. Okay, they're going to use the same SQL languages. Okay, so whenever you enter into the data warehousing projects, so you can say you can see any of these databases which are used as a data warehouse. So when you have the data warehouse here, so you can do different operations, like you can analyze how your business is running. Like, so it is easy to analyze the analysis of the business, like how it is running, right? You can understand your business. So how you are getting the revenue, so who is the best customer, so in what days you are actually getting a good revenue, on which outlet you are getting a good revenue. So what is the perfect time I can keep some sale, end of the season sale. So what promotions I can do on the existing products. So how much profit I am attaining on the daily basis or the monthly basis or the yearly basis. Okay, so all these kind of things I can perform by looking at the data in the data warehouse. Okay, so that is the reason a data warehouse is called as a decision supporting system. Decision supporting system. So at the end of the day, at the end of each business working day, I am going to perform this ETL process to extract the data, transform the data, and load the data into the data warehouse. Every day I will do that. So that is the reason it stores the historical data. Historical data in the sense, so we are not going to perform any kind of delete operations in the data warehouse. We don't do any delete. So either in some cases we do the updates, but we are not going to perform any delete operations here. No delete operations are there. Okay, so only the insert, either it could be an update. So let us say if we have started implementing the data warehouse for my client from 2010, it will contain 2010 data, 11 data, 12 data, 13 data, 14 data, and 15 data. So it will contain the data over a period of time. So once it contains the data over a period of time, so it is easy for me to analyze how the business is running across the years. So I can compare my business with 2015 with 2014. In the same way, 2014 with 2013. Yes. So likewise, I can compare the business how it is running. Okay. So let's say if I am the business user of the company or the sales manager of the company, I wanted to analyze by using a report. So since I'm not the technical person to do the analysis by querying the data here, so I'm not a technical person to query the data from this data warehouse. So I need another interface in order to understand how the business is running. So that interface is nothing but it's a reporting area or the BI area, BI layer. BI layer. So when I say BI layer, it's nothing but business intelligence layer. Business intelligence layer. So business intelligence layer is nothing but so in order to understand how the business is running, so the business user cannot directly query the data because they are not technical people. So in order to understand how the business is running, so what we do is that so we create some visualizations here, like so we create the data in the form of reports. It could be in a it could be in a tabular format. We represent the data in the tabular format. We represent the data in the form of graphs, or in the kind of pie charts. So all these kinds of different visualizations we create for better understanding of the business to the. So what we do is that, so in the BA layer, so there are some BA tools. There are some BA tools like Cognos, SAP BO, MicroStrategy, right? So Hyperion. So these are all the BA tools. So what they do is that they query the data. So querying is nothing but they select the data. They select the data from the OLAP system and they represent the data in the form of reports. So we have some BA developers here. So the people who use BA tools are nothing but BA developers. So the BI developers, they make use of this BI tools. They select the data and they represent the data in the form of reports, yes, and they send these reports to the business users. Thereby, business users can understand like how the business is running. So all those things they can understand it. Okay. So who are going to do this ETL process? So the ETL developers. So the ETL developers are the people who are going to perform this ETL process, like extracting the data from multiple OLTP systems, transforming the data and loading the data into the data warehouse. Right? So when I say ETL developer, so what activity they do is that they develop the ETL plans. They develop the ETL plans which are called as mappings in the Power Center. So the ETL plan in Informatica Power Center is called as a mapping. So they create the mappings. So if you wanted to look into how the mapping looks, see, let's understand now. So I'll open one of the so you can see here. So we have Informatica Power Center Designer, Repository Manager, Workflow Manager, and Workflow Monitor. So these are all the 4 client tools where the developer is going to predominantly work in order to build the plan of ETL, like extracting the data from the one of the source and loading the data into one of the table in the data warehouse. So when I say data warehouse, it's nothing but a database again. So where it contains the data in the form of tables. Okay. So if you open this, so this is Informatica Power Center Designer. So this is the client tool where you can access the where you can create the mappings or the ETL plans. So yes. So let me just restart the services. So okay, so you can see here. So let me show you the mappings here. Okay, fine. So this is the source definition. This is the source definition, means that I have a OLTP in my Oracle database. Okay, I wanted to load into the flat file. So flat file in the sense, so we can load the data into any kind of system that we have. Means we can load the data into a flat file, or we can load the data into a table as well. Okay, so this is the source definition, and this is the target definition that we have. It means that, so using the ETL tool, this is nothing but a mapping. So using this mapping, you extract the data from the source definition, you do the transformations with all these different transformations that we have. So these are all the different transformations. Using these transformations, you transform the data or modify the data, and you load the data into the target. Okay, so let me show you another mapping as well. So you can see here. So this is the source definition. Means that, so this is one of the tables that exists in the OLTP system, and you're loading the data into one of the table that exists in the data warehouse. You're transforming the data here. So this is one of the mapping here. So these are all the different transformations. What happens is that, so using these transformations, they transform the data and we load the data into the tables in the data warehouse. So when we talk about this loading the data from OLTP system into the data warehouse, we still have some more phases between the OLTP system into the and the data warehouse. We have some phases. We are not going to directly move the data from the OLTP system into the data warehouse. Okay, so we have some phases in between. Okay, so as a part of the project, as a part of this training, we are going to implement one project, one mini project we can say. Yes, so it's nothing but a sales project. So it's we are taking a retail project here. Okay, on the sales data mart. So during the sessions, we are going to work on this case study. Okay, so when you are working on this case study, when you are implementing this, you will understand what is the role of the ETL developer and what are the different phases that we have, and you will understand the whole ETL project life cycle and how the process happens in the real time. Okay, so this is what you are going to understand as a part of this training sessions. Okay, see, when I say moving the data from OLTP system into the data warehouse, so each OLTP system corresponding table will be present in the target system as well. Okay, corresponding target table will be present. Using this ETL process, we are going to load the data to that corresponding target table. Okay, likewise we perform the data migration. Okay, so when you talk about the prerequisite, yes sir, so as a part of this training system, this training, so we are going to implement a mini project. As I told, it's a sales project we are going to implement. And so when you talk about the prerequisite that we have, so you need good knowledge on SQL. So why you need a good knowledge on SQL? As we have understood, since the data warehouse is present on the database, in order to communicate with the database there, you should need a good knowledge on SQL, okay, or any kind of PL SQL. So if your data warehouse is on Oracle, you need a PL SQL knowledge, or if your data warehouse is on SQL Server, you need a TSQL. Means that you need a procedural language knowledge also. Okay, procedural language. You need good knowledge on Unix commands and Unix shell scripting. Unix shell scripting. Okay, so since for the first three classes we are going to discuss only the data warehousing concepts, so I want you to brush up all the SQL knowledge that you have it. Okay, so as a part of this training, see, I am going to help you with the materials. Okay, so both with the data warehousing material and Informatica material. So interview questions will be discussed as a part of this. How to prepare for the interview and what are the areas where you have to concentrate for cracking the interviews, and what are the various subjects that we have. Okay, so all the interviews will be interview questions will be understood here, and interview scenarios. So we have different. So without a scenario, you don't have, since it is a developer job. Okay, without a scenario, there won't be any interview. Okay, so all the interview scenario questions will be discussed, right? And Unix commands will be shared. Unix material will be shared to you. Yes, I'll help you even with the resume preparation. Okay, so all these materials will be shared and taught in the class itself. Okay, and when you talk about the installation, so installation will be done by the BigClasses. Okay, so BigClasses will provide you a VMware. So in that VMware, you have Informatica Power Center software. So 9.5 is the latest version that we have. So BigClasses will be given you, they will give you with this Power Center, and Oracle is the database you have, and SQL, yes, SQL developer you have it here. Okay, and you have it on the Windows mission. Windows mission you have it. Okay. So this is pretty much about the installation, and during the class I am going to show you even how to do the installation also. How to do the installation and some of the admin related activities. Admin related activities will also be taught during the classes. Okay, so I think okay, so you can see here. So these are the topics that will be covered as a part of first 3 classes, like all the basics of the data warehouse you can see here, and what is the modeling that we have, like what is the modeling that was implemented in the OLTP system and the OLAP system, and which is very important to understand, because so once you started your career in the, if you are learning Informatica, means that you have started your career in the data warehousing. You need to understand all these things, which will help you in yes, in the later point of time. So it will help you more. And after that, we'll start Informatica Power Center 9.5. So all these things will be understood. Okay, different kinds of transformations. Yes, different properties and performance tuning. Yes. So what are the different kinds of dimension activities we do? Yes, and even the yes. Admin related activities like migration of the ETL programs, right, and installation and configuration of the services, taking the backup, how you are going to schedule in the scheduling tools, right? So how you are going to restore, what are the different phases that you have it in the software development lifecycle. Yes, what are the different SDLCs you have, whether it is the agile model or the typical model you have. Right, so all these things we are going to understand as a part of this training. Okay. Yes. So with this we have completed the demo session for today.